Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. I am Zesty, nice to meet you. Today I have another exciting video for you guys. I'm going to be showing you how I flipped and upcycled some mirrors that I had in my home, and I'm really excited to show you because they turned out awesome. Really hope you enjoy this video, so let's get right into it. So this is the first mirror that I'm going to be working with. This was actually my great grandmother's. I've held onto it for quite a while, and this is plastic, although it doesn't look like it is. I really love the shape of this mirror. I think it's really pretty, and I think it has a lot of potential. Okay, so I've brought my mirror upstairs and I have it set up on my table here. The first thing I'm going to do is give this a really good clean. And after I clean it up, I'm going to be patching up any little cracks or areas that need some extra TLC. So I'm going to actually just patch this up with some wall joint compound. And I'm actually just going to use a brush to brush that on. I think that will be the easiest. And once that is dry, I'm gonna sand it so that it matches and lines up perfectly. Perfect. I'm gonna do that to all of the corners that need it. So what I'm doing now is wedging some scrap craft paper that I had on hand between the mirror and the frame, so that I'm able to protect the mirror while I'm painting the frame. I've seen other DIYers do this with playing cards, which is a great hack. I just don't have any playing cards at the moment. So what I've been doing is just grabbing my pieces of craft paper and just wedging them between like that, making sure that the surface area is covered. And then I'll take a little bit of tape just to kind of secure it down. And we're gonna do that all around the mirror. Okay, so I have prepped my mirror now, so it is all covered and protected. So obviously before painting, I'm gonna just sand down any of the areas that I added the joint compound to. Alrighty, I'm using a black matte acrylic furniture paint for this frame and adding 2 coats to it. Now that the paint is fully dry, I'm going to be adding a little luster with this finishing wax. I've never used this before, but I've heard good things. So I'm just putting on a pair of gloves and melting it between my fingers before spreading it on. And I'm only using just a little bit just to add a little extra shine. Okay, so after taking off all of the paper that I had used to line the mirror, I noticed that you could totally see the underside of the frame because the mirror just reflects it, and it looks really bad. So as you can see, there's this little area here and it just doesn't look good. I can't quite get my paintbrush in there. So I'm going to have to see if I can detach the mirror from the frame and figure it out that way. Okay, so this is what the back looks like. There was actually some paper that was covering this that I just ripped off. So it looks like the mirror is being held by this cardboard here, as well as some staples. So I'm gonna see if I can remove just a few to try to slip this off and paint the inside areas of the frame so that you can't see any of that white. Here I am removing the staples with some pliers. I wanted to lift the staples on the sides in hopes that the mirror would just slip out with me actually having to remove all of the staples. So hopefully it's not glued. No, I don't think it is. Having a hard time lifting this even though half of these staples are off, so I'm just gonna take all of them off and we'll just restaple after, no worries. So all the staples are off, so let's see if we can lift this. Here we go. Be kind of careful with the middle piece here that we're gonna keep. And here we go. Now I'm doing some light sanding and cleaning the inside of the frame before adding a coat of black paint to it. At this point, I totally thought that I was going to be able to just add on some new staples to secure the mirror down, but I realized that my staple gun wasn't really suited for this project, so I ended up scrapping that idea and decided to glue the mirror instead with the help of my husband. So here I am using a pretty thick layer of E6000 glue, which is super strong and great for glass.
You can put it down. You can put it down in the slot though.
Do you want me to go over on that side?
No.
Okay. I'm also adding some extra glue to the back with some mini wooden garden stakes that will add some extra support while the glue dries. So right now I am just weighing these pieces down. I'm gonna let this dry overnight and then I'm gonna go ahead and just reinforce this with some duct tape, which I don't even actually know that we'll need, but just in case. And that finishes this mirror DIY. Here is how it turned out. I am so happy with how this mirror turned out. I decided to hang it downstairs by my living room, and I think it really opens up the space. I love the simplicity of it. I think the black goes really, really well on this frame, and I am so happy with how this turned out. For the second mirror flip, I'm going to be transforming one of these Dollarama mirrors. The inspiration for this piece is this gold Peruvian starburst mirror by West Elm. I absolutely love the look of this, and I think you can totally make this with some air dry clay. I'm going to be using some Crayola air dry clay to shape the eye, but I need a basic stencil first, so I'm going to be drawing out a general size and design of the eye, making sure that it's big enough for the mirror to fit right onto it. So now I'm slipping that under some parchment paper so that I can roll out the air dry clay right on top of it. If you haven't worked with air dry clay before, I highly recommend the Crayola brand. I find it very easy to work with. After warming up the clay in my hands, I'm using a rolling pin to roll out the clay to about 1/4 inch in thickness. And now I'm using a carving tool to shape the eye out. here I am smoothing out the edges with my fingers before rolling out some more clay that I'm going to use to line the outer rim of the eye with. I'm rolling out 2 even pieces with the same thickness and using my drawing as a guide to make sure that they look good. Now that those are done, I'm going to score the edge of the clay with this little tool. And I'm also going to be adding a little bit of water to the edge. And as you can see here, I'm also scoring the rolled out pieces so that they all adhere really nicely onto the base. This is a really popular technique used to attach 2 different air dry clay pieces together. I'm using this sculpting tool along with some water to bind the 2 pieces of clay together. I also kept adding little pieces of scrap clay to my water bowl to create some slip, which is basically water mixed with clay. It's really useful for smoothing out any bumpy or rough spots and helps your pieces stick to each other. After smoothing everything out, I moved on to the eyelashes by rolling out some more strands of clay. I decided to make 2 different eyelash lengths, so I'm just cutting them out here and using the grid on my mat as a measurement guide to make sure that they're all the same size. If you're wondering why you keep seeing my dog, he was so interested in what I was doing. I think he thought that I was hiding treats from him or something, and to his disappointment, I was not. So now that I've positioned the lashes and like what I see, I'm gonna go ahead and do some extra trimming so that they all line up nicely. To attach these on, I'm going to be scoring all of the ends and adding some water to them before firmly pressing them into the base. I can almost guarantee that I'm gonna need some glue to reinforce these lashes, but I'm gonna go ahead and try this method anyway, and we'll just see what happens. All right, so I lined this little mirror with some clay in hopes that it would fit into the eye shape, except this little piece of plastic was stopping it from fitting. And unfortunately, this is what happened next.
Despacito.
Up.
Esther, what did you do?
What did you just do? How did you do that?
Okay, you know what?
Is it on film?
Yeah.
That's actually kind of sick though.
Broke it. I have another one, thankfully, though.
Do you actually? I was
Yeah.
gonna say, like, wow.
So thankfully, I had 2 of these mirrors. As you can see here, I am very, very, very carefully removing the plastic off of the back of this mirror. I know it may look a little aggressive because this clip is sped up, but I promise you I am being a lot more careful this time so that I don't break the mirror. And honestly, I'm kind of glad that happened because I ended up thinking of a different design to line the mirror with. I decided to line it with some balls of clay, so I'm just rolling them out to size before shaping and pressing them into the mirror to make sure they all fit perfectly. I let everything dry for 2 days, and lo and behold, the eyelashes detach themselves, which is totally fine. We're just gonna glue them back on. I'm using this Gorilla Gel super glue to attach all of the lashes back on, and this stuff is super strong and works really well with air dry clay, so I highly recommend it. Before gluing the little balls to the mirror, I'm also going to spray paint them with this gold spray paint. After the lashes were dry, I decided to blend them in with a little more slip just to make sure that they look nice and seamless. And now I'm going to use the same gel Gorilla super glue to attach the little balls all around the mirror. I'm also giving the base of the eye a very light sanding, doing my best to be gentle so that I don't break anything. This piece is very, very delicate, and I can guarantee that if you make something like this, you're going to need to be very, very careful so that you don't break anything. Before painting this, I'm going to be sealing it first with some acrylic matte varnish, which is going to help strengthen and harden the piece. I let that dry completely before taking it outside and spray painting the lashes with the same gold paint that I used for the little balls. Did you know that the white part of your eye is called the sclera? I literally just found that out 5 minutes ago. I am now painting the sclera with some white acrylic paint. My base of acrylic paint is dry, so now I'm adding some Inca Gold metallic wax finish to add a little shimmer to the sclera of the eye. I also decided to seal everything once again with the matte varnish for a little extra added protection. And I let everything dry overnight, and now I'm gluing the mirror onto the base with some more Gorilla Gel super glue. I'm going to be hanging this on my wall, so I thought command strips would be the best option for this piece. I hope you guys are ready because this reveal is coming in 3, 2, 1. Oh my gosh, I am so happy with her. She looks stunning on my wall, and I am so happy with how she turned out. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you've enjoyed this mirror flip video. If you did, please let me know in the comments, and I will see you all really soon. Have an amazing rest of your day. See ya.